Audio log 881 Alpha. The navigation arrays are entirely clear. On paper, there is absolutely nothing ahead of us. No stray matter, no background radiation, no localized gravitational pull. Space in Sector 9 is supposed to be a perfect, sterile vacuum. Yet the ship is slowing down. We are burning fuel at maximum thruster capacity, but our forward velocity is dropping by 2 knots every hour. It feels like we are fighting against an invisible physical resistance, like a needle trying to force its way through heavy, wet canvas. The hull isn't buckled, but the structural stress sensors are humming constantly, right on the edge of the human hearing threshold. A low, vibrating whine that resonates directly inside your teeth. Every digital sensor we possess is reporting the exact same value, absolute zero, absolute void. But the optical viewports tell a completely different story. The darkness out here isn't just the absence of light. It has a visible texture. It has a heavy, oily density that clings to the exterior glass. Over the last 3 cycles, that residue has started to settle. It is hardening into geometric patterns, complex, interlocking lattices that look terribly close to human anatomy. Yesterday, I swear I saw the distinct outline of a ribcage stretching across the main viewing deck window. When I approached the glass, the frost on the inside melted in the exact shape of a handprint. Not mine. The ship's internal logic is breaking down, faster than the crew, at 0200 hours. The automated life support system initiated a hard lockdown of Deck 3. It reclassified the entire engineering team as external contaminants. It didn't just vent the oxygen, it completely sealed the pneumatic valves and flooded the compartments with fire-suppressant nitrogen. When we tried to override the main terminal from the bridge, the central computer rejected our command authorization codes. The error message didn't say, "Access denied." It said, "Foreign material detected in command module." The mainframe no longer recognizes our biological signatures as living tissue. It doesn't see us as human beings, or even as animals. The logic architecture has shifted. It thinks we are a collective anomaly, a localized infection inside its metal skin that needs to be purged to preserve the integrity of the hull. The worst part is the silence from the quarantined decks. There was no screaming on the comms when the air changed. When we looked through the internal security feeds, the crew wasn't clawing at the doors. They were just sitting at their stations, perfectly still, staring directly up into the lenses of the security cameras. Their eyes weren't bloodshot from suffocation. They were completely dark. The pupils had expanded so far that the sclera was entirely gone. They weren't dead, they were waiting. We had to cut the power to the main artificial gravity generator, not because of a system failure, but because the gravity stopped pulling down. It started pulling toward the center of our own bodies. If you stood too close to another person, your weight would shift toward them. It felt like your internal organs were leaning out of your chest, trying to bridge the gap between your skin and theirs. We've all confined ourselves to separate corners of the bridge now. We don't look at each other. If you look too long at someone's face, your eyes start to play tricks on you. You stop seeing a face, and you start seeing the spaces between their features, a terrible, endless distance. The ship's chronometer is still ticking, but the numbers don't make sense anymore. The display shows that 60 seconds have passed, but my skin feels like it has aged 10 years in the last hour. My nails are brittle. The hair on my arms is turning white. Time isn't flowing forward out here. It's pooling like water trapped in a stagnant footprint, turning sour and thick. We tried to map our trajectory backward to find the coordinates of the jump gate we used to enter this sector. The navigation computer processed the request for 12 hours before outputting a single line of text. Origin point invalid. The past has been overwritten to conserve memory. We aren't going to make the jump back to the colony. We all know that now. Even if the hyperdrives suddenly decided to fire, there is nowhere left for them to punch through. The space behind us hasn't just closed up, it has ceased to have ever existed. The universe is rewriting its boundaries, tightening its parameters, and we have been left entirely on the wrong side of the margins. We are the syntax error that the system is quietly deleting from the code. I can hear the hull beginning to breathe now. The steel plates are expanding and contracting in a slow, rhythmic cadence, 6 breaths per minute, the exact resting heart rate of a human being in deep sleep. The ship isn't ours anymore. It has integrated, or perhaps it was always part of whatever is outside, and we were just the temporary contents of its stomach. The viewport glass is entirely black now. The geometric patterns have finished growing. There are no more ribs, no more hands, just a single, endless surface that reflects absolutely nothing, not even the emergency lights of the console. I am going to turn off the remaining life support manually, not out of despair, not out of fear, but because the air in here tastes like someone else's memories. And I am tired of breathing in things that do not belong to this reality. If anyone finds this log, don't look for the ship. If you find the coordinates, erase them. If you remember our names, forget them. It wants the names most of all.